In a country like ours, rickshaws are an integral part of our society and are deeply embedded in our culture. The alluring mystery surrounding the origin of the rickshaw, its history, and the humanity, humility, and grace of the men in this vocation is what inspired me to undertake this journey of trying to understand these rickshaw pullers. If one takes a walk in the streets of India, one would realize how we are surrounded by rickshaws in our daily life, and sometimes even in ways in which we would not register in the first instant. I, upon conversing with several rickshawalas, discovered in order to understand the rickshaw pullers, it's a prerequisite to understand the history and heritage of the rickshaw itself. In researching the history of the rickshaw, I came across some early visual records of the rickshaw in the photographs of Felix Beato, who photographed in Yokohama in 1863. However, predating all of these is this 1707 painting, Les Deux Roses by Claude Guillot, possibly the earliest visual document of what would eventually become the Asian rickshaw. And predating even this is this 1756 etching by Charles Jamais de Saint-Aubé titled La Brouette. All of these developments in the designs of rickshaw would eventually lead to a design which made rickshaw different from a wagon or an ox cart, and in the eyes of many so cruel. A design heavily based on the gruesome fact that it be pulled by a man instead of a farm animal. Though this sequence of a 1950s film Do Biga Zameen seems to be the earliest recollection of the relationship of a rickshawala with his vocation, how much has truly changed today? Though the rickshawala is still at the mercy of his customer, there are some facts about a rickshawala which are common themes in the life of almost all of them, such as most of them are immigrants from small towns away from their families. They did not get a chance to get educated and as a result are often unfamiliar with the laws of driving a vehicle and the lanes designated for heavier and lighter vehicles. Something that fascinated me was when I stumbled upon a line of rickshaws parked in crisscross outside a temple. I discovered a group of rickshawalas who moonlight as priests, in colloquial terms pujari, such as this gentleman Jagdamba Tiwari, and to understand his lifestyle, I asked him for an interview, to which he agreed generously. भैया आपने रिक्शा चलाना क्यों शुरू किया?
शुरू कर दिया यार, यहाँ दिल्ली आए तो काम नहीं मिला, कोई मजबूरी आई तो रिक्शा चलाना शुरू कर दिया।
आपके परिवार में कितने जन हैं?
6 जने जी।
आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, एक दिन में करीब करीब कितनी सवारी उठा लेते हो?
अरे कभी 10-20 हो जाती हैं, कभी 30-40 हो जाती हैं, कमाई के अनुसार जो मिलता है ना।
तो आपकी सबसे ज़्यादा कमाई किन दिनों पे होती है?
इन दिनों में सोमवार मंगल हुआ और बुधवार को कुछ कम हो जाती है, संडे को कम हो जाती है,
क्योंकि लोग ऑफिस
शुक्रवार को हो जाती है। और नहीं जब पूर पड़ता है तो मंदिर में भी सेवा करना पड़ता है, झाड़ू वाड़ू लगवा देता हूँ, रोटी पानी कुछ मिल जाती है। On asking him if he owned the rickshaw he drove, his answer was something I did not expect. भाड़े पर लिया है।
एक दिन का कितना भाड़ा होता है?
40 रुपए।
And he was not alone.
हाँ जी, भाड़े पे लिया हुआ है।
भैया आपका रिक्शा किराए पे है या आपने खरीदा हुआ है?
किराए पे है।
भैया जी आपका जो रिक्शा है वो आपने खरीदा हुआ है या भाड़े पे है?
किराए पे है।
When I asked him why doesn't he simply buy a rickshaw then spend exorbitant amount of money on rent?
तो कहाँ खड़ी करे, ये दिक्कत है ना। रिक्शा तो बहुत ले लो लेकिन कहाँ खड़ी करोगे? खड़ी करने के लिए दिक्कत है, कोई अपने सामने थोड़े खड़ी करने देगा कोठी पे।
This response of his was something which was rather common with a lot of rickshawalas, which is perhaps why some of them often even after being able to afford a room rather sleep in the rickshaw because of the sheer necessity of protecting it. However, something that has piled up adding to the burden of the rickshawalas is the e-ricks, which has quietly glided past between this competition amongst the rickshawalas, and this is how the rickshaw pullers perceive the onset of e-ricks. ई रिक्शा के आने की वजह से आपको लगता है आपके धंधे पे कुछ प्रभाव पड़ा है?
बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभाव पड़ा है। ये सब अब काम इतना होता नहीं, पहले ज़्यादा हो जाता था। अब यहाँ ज़्यादा 200-250-300 बस यही में हो जाता है।
ये जो है ना बैटरी वाले भी बुला के बैटरी वाले भी बैठा लेते हैं, हम लोग खड़े रह जाते हैं, उस पर बैठ के चले जाते हैं सवारी को भी उसमें जो है ना कुछ किराया कम कर दिया है और जल्दी बैठना। सवारी चाहती कि मैं जल्दी पहुँचूँ और इस पर बैठना ही, पहले इसी रिक्शे पे बैठ के जाती थी वही सवारी, अब वही सवारी उस पर बैठ के जाती है।
This is Govind, a local e-rick driver, and his perception about the onset of e-ricks. अब मुझे ये बताओ, आपके हिसाब से ई-रिक्शा के आने की वजह से क्या प्रभाव पड़ा है नॉर्मल रिक्शा?
प्रभाव ये पड़ा है जी, सबको रोजी रोजगार मिला है। जितने भी हमारे दिल्ली में वेले इंसान थे बेचारों, जिनको भी काम धाम नहीं था, आज हर कोई बेचारा रिक्शा चला रहा है अपनी दाल रोटी पेट के लिए। तो इसलिए अच्छी बात है रिक्शा, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ और बढ़ने चाहिए बैटरी वाले रिक्शे, कोई ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं है।
Though the future seems to be grim for the rickshaw pullers, there might be some silver lining as the government of India do not consider e-rick to be a licensed vehicle and therefore technically declares it as illegal. Through the process of making this documentary, I understood how for a rickshaw puller, hard work and determination is the source of their strength and how the wheel of life continues to rotate. Undoubtedly, we all have a lot to learn from these rickshaw pullers.